Hey everyone, a viewer to this channel asked me if I could create something that looked like this that I showcased, I think a little over a year ago, but it was in my diary and I totally forgot to talk about it and actually build this. So are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist, pushing ourselves out of the box creatively. Okay, so I have to do a little apologizing here, but we're going to talk about a 3-template concept here. That's a 3, say, frames template concept that was reminded me by one of the viewers here, and that was Chantel. I didn't get permission to use her full name, so I'm not going to say her last name. She's from Montreal, Canada, one of my favorite cities in Canada, by the way. I've been there many times doing live seminars. But she'd asked me, could I build this that I guess I showcased a little over a year ago, but I never really built it as a template concept to share with everybody else. And so I dug that up and I, behind a little bit on some projects here, on other things I want to do. So I dove into this the last few days. I'm going to showcase actually 3 different, I take that back, 4 different templates. And let's take a look at what she was talking about right here. So let's dive into this. Again, I can't remember when I showcased this, but again, I didn't finish it. It was like a long time ago. And this is actually 4 different templates. And what it is, it's 3 frames. But this example is there's 3 frames, but you're using a simple, single image. And this is obviously horizontal. Then I created another one that is vertical, but again, it's a single image that you're using, but it's broken up in 3 frames. And all these are customizable. I will show you all the 3 templates, or 4 templates, I should say, here in a minute. And then the next one is now, okay, horizontal, but you're actually using 3 separate images into 3 frames. And again, totally customizable. And then the last one is to go vertical like that. And again, 3 separate images. So I'm going to show you all 4 of these templates. I'll build 2 of them. This will be one of them I'll do. I'll do the first one, the horizontal one. I'll do something special in this one that I'm not going to do in the first one. So let's take a look first at, well, where can I get these templates at and what will I get? And that is going to be at buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. The link is here at the bottom of the screen. Let's jump into the website and I'll show you where to find that. Let's do it. All right, again, right here at the website, buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist, right here. Link should be in the show notes also. And what you want to do is when you come to the main home tab, you want to make sure you click on Extra. And then you'll see a list of different concepts and templates I've been selling for the last couple of years or so. This is a new one I just put up, and it's called 3 Frame Design Templates. Don't confuse it with 3 custom film frame templates. That's totally different. What you want to do is click on the thumbnail, and then this opens up, and there's a promo video. You just click on the promo video. It'll explain what you get and what this is more about. And if you choose to support the channel and like to get this, you can just add that to your cart and cash out with a debit or credit card at the end. All right, thanks for this, and let's get into Photoshop. Okay, so getting back into Photoshop right here, I'm just going to go to my desktop. When you download the zip file from buymeacoffee.com, this is what you're going to see, and you want to just right mouse click on it and choose to extract all. Now that's on a PC. I believe it's the same thing if you're on a Mac platform. This is a standard file format that everybody knows or should know on how to extract. So I'm just going to choose extract, let it do its job. And it amazes me I can actually do that within the Photoshop dialog box. You don't have to do it within Photoshop. So it takes a few seconds for this to extract out. And then I'll share with you quickly what you will get. So in the dialog box here, you're going to see the sample picture or sample practice images. Again, I encourage you to use your own images, but again, a lot of people are in a hurry. They just want to jump in here. So I'll do this one for you today. I'll do this one also. And then the other 3 is up for you to, play around and stuff. So this is practice. These are just stock images that I'm going to share with you. So let's go back over here. And then the other thing you're going to get is a training video. So it's in the training video folder. So you want to make sure you're watching that. I go more in depth than what I'm going to do over here. And then the last thing is these are going to be your 4 different templates. So let's take a look at the 4 templates, and then I will build 2 projects for you. All right, back again into Photoshop, and I'm going to select all 4 of these templates. Now, if you take a look at this, it says 3 frames horizontal, 1 image right here. This one is 3 frames with 3 images. And then we have another one here, 3 frames vertical with 1 image, and then 3 frames vertical with 3 images. So think of it as 2 sets. One set is with a single image, and the other set of 2 is working with 3 images. So I'm going to select all 4. I'm going to build 2 of them for you, but I just want you to see how they're put together really fast, and I'll build it and customize it for you. All right, let's take a look at the first one. This is the one I will build for you, but I've tried to make this user-friendly. There's a whole bunch of features here on the right side. I'll cover that when I get into the project here. This one right here is another one that is, again, this is horizontal, but it's 3 separate images. So this one I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to work on that. I'm going to close out of that and not save that. And then this one right here is, again, a single image, but now it's vertical rather horizontal. So I'm not going to do that one because I will do the horizontal one. It's the same concept. It's just one is horizontal versus one is vertical. So I'm going to close out of that and not save it. And again, remember, these are template formats. I talk about what is a template format more in depth in the training video if you're not sure what that means. And then this one I will build for you, and that is horizontal. And I'm going to do something special in this one that I'm not going to do in the first one here. And but again, this is 3 images with 3 different frames, and I'll be covering, what can I do to modify and change the look of this. All right, so let's actually right there. I'm sorry. Duh. This is the one, 3 separate images, and again, stacked up on each other, and that is vertical. Sorry about that. I had a little brain freeze on that one. Okay, so let's go back to this, and let's start the project. And then again, I mentioned on this one, I'll do something a little bit different that I'm not going to do over here. Now, I tried to lay this out really simple, and that is, over here in the very top layer, it says choose place embedded. Well, what does that mean? Well, in the training session, you'll see, I'll emphasize, you double click on the smart object layer right here. This opens up the smart object layer. Let me move this over here. Go find your image by going to File drop-down menu, and you'll actually choose Place Embedded. Now, you'll navigate to go find your image. So I'm just going to use this sample image right here. And I mentioned this in the training video, and I emphasize this. When you drop in your image, and this is more of a 2:3 aspect ratio, like typically you get from your camera, but if you're doing something like super wide or something like that, you want to do your cropping within the smart object layer right there. So I'm making this bigger so it fills in the whole area, and you can adjust how you want this to look in your design. Now, since I'm doing something with 3 frames, I want the main part to be centered right there in my project. So I have that centered. Enter on the keyboard to accept that. And then I'm just going to close out of the tab right here. It's going to ask me, do you want to update this? Yes. And it drops it right in to the template. That's the standard look right out of the box. Now, if we go to this category here where it says choose frame, you have options over here. I'm going to turn this one off, which is called Dark Edge Postcards, and I'm going to activate this one. So you have that kind of look. Don't like that? Then we got this look. And you can change it to this look right here and to this look right here. So it's totally customizable by choosing what frames you want. So I'm going to close out of this. And then there are just a few textures here. You could bring in your own textures, so don't think you're limited to these. So if I turn these on and off, you can see what it's doing. And here's a water stain. You want to bring in your own textures, that's fine. You can use a blending mode if you want. And then there's this one, this sort of a grunge border. So again, you can play with this, customize it, bring in your own stuff, or just use what I am sharing with you here in the templates. Then over here, if you want to change the background color, the default here is this color. It is set to soft light blending mode. You can change the blending modes, whatever. I put in another one here, so if you want to turn that one on, this is set to multiply blending mode. If you want to change any of these colors to experiment and change, the look of things, just double click on this, pick a different color, go for it. So again, just unlimited options right there and changing the color. And then the last thing is I've got a bunch of different backgrounds. You could bring in your own backgrounds if you want, but this is an example of different backgrounds that you might want to choose right here. And I'll just scroll down. You see a bunch of other ones. I have this one right here that was activated. So again, just virtually unlimited different combinations you can do. And again, I want to emphasize that you're working with a single image here with 3 frames. And then when you're done, you just save this, export it out as a JPEG or whatever format you need it to be. All right, let's take a look at the next one. But this one, I'm going to throw in a curveball here. It's going to be slightly different. But first of all, to build this, I'm going to grab here the very top one. Again, it says top image, place embedded, just as a reminder what to do. So again, training video will tell you to double click on the smart object layer. When this opens up, let me make this a little bit smaller. You're going to go to, again, the file drop-down menu, come down to place embedded, go navigate and find the image. So I'm going to choose this one right here. So this is the practice image. You know, since I got 3, this might be okay, but I'm going to center her. So I'm going to expand that a little bit. So again, I want to emphasize, do your cropping like this within the smart object frame right there. I'm going to move that up a little bit, maybe like that. And then enter on the keyboard. Now I'll close out of the tab right there. It's going to remind me to update this, yes. And you see how that dropped in. Now I'm going to change the layout. I'm going to share with you a layout that I really like when you have a plain background, like a light gray or a white background. So I'll hold off on that for a moment. Let's go to the middle image right now. So I'm going to select this, double click, and let's go find under File drop-down menu, again, Place Embedded, right there. And let's get the second image. And this one, I'm going to do some modification of this one in a few minutes. I'm just going to accept that for right now, close out, and choose yes when we update the tab right there. Let's go to the third one. I'm just repeating this again, double click to open up the smart object layer, go to File drop-down menu, Place Embedded. I'm going to grab the third image right there, and I'll accept that right there, and I'm done. So let's close out of the tab again. Yes, let's update that. And there we go. So now I'm going to go over here to choose a different frame. So I'm going to turn that off. And you're going to see this frame right here. This frame is one of my favorites. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but you also have that one right there. Now, what I like about this one, it has a very grungy look. So if that's the style you want to have, not a bad choice right there. But here's what I want to emphasize. She's very, say, bright and sort of washed out a bit. Maybe that, that's a look. This one is not quite washed out, and this one definitely is not. I'm just going to do this one right here for demo purposes, just to save time. Here's where I want you to think creatively out of the box and not have blinders on. I'm going to go back here to the middle image. I'm going to double click to open up the smart object layer. Now, when this opens up, let me just reduce the size of that a little bit. You can edit the image. Don't think you're locked into this. So I'm going to come down here to the Oreo cookie dipped in milk as an example, and I'm going to choose some non-destructive editing. I'm going to choose hue and saturation, and I just want to pull down the saturation of the image a little bit. I don't know if that's going to show or not. Hopefully it does in the video. And then I'm going to do another one. I'm going to go to the Oreo cookie dipped in milk, and I'm going to choose brightness and contrast. And I'd like to just bump up the brightness of this. So it has a very similar look to that top image right there. So now when I close out of this, do you want to update this? Yes. And now you'll see that that image has been updated. So again, I could go maybe back down to this one, say I need to brighten that one up a little bit, maybe desaturate the colors, but just to save time, I'm not going to do that. The point is you can go back in any of these images, double click, make any modifications and changes, save it, and it updates it in the template format. Now, I'm not going to walk through because these are all the same, like choose your texture, your color backgrounds, and choose a background, image if you want to change the backgrounds and stuff like that. That's all the same like the first project I did right there. So that gives you an idea of the layouts that I have of those 4 different templates using 3 frames, but think of it, again, as 2 sets of templates. One set of 2 is working with a single image with 3 frames, and the other set of 2 templates is working with 3 individual images in 3 different frames. And again, horizontal versus vertical. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, Chantel, thank you for reminding me about this. I totally forgot about it. It was in my diary, slipped by me. I should have done this a long time ago. So again, it's at buymecoffee.com/Steven Photo Artist. You can find it there. Again, make sure you select the promo video. And as of this date, everything is like $7. I try to keep things very reasonable. So for the ones that are going to purchase this, again, thank you very much for supporting this channel. I love creating stuff like this to give you something back for your donation to the channel right there. So again, people, have fun with this. Think creatively out of the box. And again, I mean literally out of the box. Until next time, see ya.